The iconic woman that I love to talk about is Beatrix Potter, because she was born in 1866 at a time when women were just chattels to men's lives, and women relied on men just to live, to survive. Beatrix Potter did not marry until she was 47 years old. It wasn't until she was in her early 30s that she published the first of her books, which was The Adventures of Peter Rabbit. And not only did she write and illustrate this book and have it published, but then she patented the soft toy of that, and that had never been done before. And she went on to keep publishing books until she was in her 50s. Unfortunately, she was engaged when she was 41 to one of the men who was part of that publishing house, and he had helped her in her success and he really believed in her. But after being engaged, he died, and it really broke her heart. She bought a house that was in an area that she loved, and that's where she lived after Norman passed away. There she continued to write, and she made friends and learnt about sheep farming. Ended up buying 20 acres, and as she was buying this land, she met the lawyer who was doing the conveyancing, and they actually fell in love, and she married him at age 47. They never had children, obviously, and they were married for 30 years until she passed away. But over time, she actually purchased 2,000 acres of land. She was an advocate for sheep farming and became the first female president of the Sheep Breeders Association when she was 77. She is a woman who I look at in that era. She broke the mold. She didn't follow the template of society. She refused the suitors that her parents used to bring her so that she would get married off to someone who was of the same level in life. In her younger years, she was a real sponge for information, and she studied science. She collected fossils and archaeological specimens, and she also studied fungi, wrote a scientific paper. It was rejected by the organisation she submitted it to because she was a woman and she wasn't trained at university, but she had been mentored by a professor who was her uncle. I've read her biography, and I'm really intrigued by the fact that she didn't settle for what was commonplace in those times. And I think that we need to take that message of hers about walking your own path and having your own way of doing things and not settling for status quo. And now she's actually left all of that land to the National Trust in the UK, and it is a conservation sanctuary because she didn't want to see it be developed by city dwellers who'd come out and take over the country. So now she has this legacy. All of her writings and all of her artwork and science papers and all of those sorts of things can now be viewed because she's left them to the public. And it's just a beautiful sign of how we can make a difference right up until our latter years, and we can continually reinvent and create a legacy and make a difference.